Hey guys, welcome into my brand new mining channel. Just starting up this channel because I enjoy crypto mining. Got a reasonable sized farm here, 12 GPU AMD rig, 7 GPUs on an NVIDIA rig, and then I just got a couple of GPUs, AMD GPUs here. Currently testing this Sapphire Pulse 6700 XT. I've owned this one for a little while. I've actually got 3 of them. The other 2 are here and here. And yeah, just this card didn't like the same overclocks as I had on those 2. So just got it onto the test bench and testing it. Thought I'd make a video because I know a lot of people aren't quite so good at overclocking these cards. Or sorry, not overclocking them, the actual undervolting is what people, I think, struggle with. It's fairly complicated, and yeah, I figured I'd share all my settings because I've actually managed to get quite good efficiency out of these cards. Yeah, so this is the 6700 XT, and this here is the power meter. So the system idle for this is just 17 watts. So the figure I'm using is about 111 watts here. Now you can see it goes down into the 110 range, but because it jumps up to 111 and sometimes over, I'm just going to use 111 as the figure. And then yeah, the 17 watts is just this motherboard here, the CPU and CPU fan, the RAM, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Maybe PSU and efficiency, small amount. As you can see, I've tagged this card with the numbers that I had to use. So the the SOC VDD has to be 1000 and the SOC frequency has to be 800 for this card. For my other ones, I had them at 500 or 550 and 970. So this one can't quite get as low, but actually that's only causing a 0.5 watt increase, which is essentially nothing. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, so as you can see from that figure, around 111 watts minus the 17 watts of idle leaves us with, quick maths, like 94 watts for 46.5 megahash, which is extremely efficient. I'm not going to do the efficiency math in my head, but I mean you can easily do 46 times 5 is just over 90. So yeah, it's pretty close to 2 watts per megahash. But yeah, I'll jump into the computer, show you in HiveOS how I am able to get these numbers with this card. And yeah, also disclaimer that I use HiveOS and you might have a different experience if you're using Windows. I don't know what the settings would be in Windows or what programs you need to use in order to get this result. I just use Team Red Miner in HiveOS and all the built-in features, including like core clock, memory clock, undervolting, and the SOC as well. So yeah, I'll jump into the computer and show you how I get all these figures to make this GPU so efficient. So see you on the computer. Hey guys, so I'm now in the software side just on my computer. I've just done the numbers. So I've got 46.5 megahash at so it was 111 minus 17 watts, which is 94 watts that the actual GPU was drawing, which is an efficiency of 0.494 megahash per watt, or roughly 2 watts per megahash. Yeah, so these are the settings that I've got. Core of 1250, VDD, or so core voltage 660, memory controller voltage 600, memory clock 1075, memory voltage 1210, Fan only needs to be at 35. This also isn't on a rig though, so it's pretty cool. And also it's because the power consumption has been reduced so significantly, it's fairly safe to have it quite low fans because there's not much power being converted to heat. SoC Freak and SoC VDD Max, those are the numbers that are different for this GPU than my other two, which increases the power consumption a little bit. So this is 800 SoC Freak and 1000 SoC VDD Max. As you can see, 77 to 78 watts in the software, which is then equating to that 94 watts in at the wall, which is typical of 6000 series cards. I don't know much about previous generations of AMD cards, so yeah, 6600s and 6700 XTs, 6800s are kind of my forte, and they all underreport power. I've heard stories that I've heard rumors that it's just because it only calculates the core power usage, but I don't know that that's entirely true, because you can reduce the memory voltage and memory controller voltage, and it does reduce the software power. But one thing to note is, so this is saying 77 to 78 watts, and in my other rig here, my two 6700s are saying 73, 76, sometimes that one's like 74, 75. Yeah, so there, this one goes up to 77, apparently this goes down to 73. This one also gets one less mega hash, unfortunately. But they don't use significantly much less power. Like, it's, even though it's quite a large difference from what was it, 77, 78 all the way down to the GPU that draws 73, it still uses almost the same amount of power, like minus like 1 watt or so. So yeah, the software power varies more than the wall power does, at least for that one. And in these ones, you can see my settings, I did change them a little bit. So yeah, we've got 670, 600, 1230, 1250, and 1055. So 1055 is why this one gets slightly less mega hash, but that's what it's the best performing overclocks were for this one. SoC Freak could get all the way down to 500, and VDD Max down to 980. So those are the numbers that are different. I believe this one might have 970. No, they're both 980. So yeah, those settings may work on your 6700 XT, or these settings may work as well. If neither of those work and you're getting like heaps of crashes and stuff, just trying to get your GPU to be as efficient as these ones are showing, what you'll want to do is, firstly, before you really go into the undervolting, you want to get the most efficient, or sorry, not the most efficient, the highest performance memory clock and core clock. Basically just move them up and down until you get like a good mega hash. All you're looking at for that is mega hash. The core clock you'll probably have to put up a bit after that, because sometimes the power usage is lower when the core clock is higher on these 6700 XTs. So I think I had mine at 1150 prior, and then I tried bumping it up to 1250, and it actually reduced the power usage. So I've left this at 1250. If your core clock is lower, then you might have a higher power usage. And then yeah, memory clock is generally between 1060 and 1075, or maybe 1055 was that other one I believe I had. Some AMD GPUs vary, like 6600s like 950, and 6600 XTs like 1135 or so. But yeah, so they vary a little bit, but once you find the correct number, you'll know, because it's just going to be a higher mega hash than all the other numbers. And then with all these millivolt numbers, or MV numbers, so this one here, and this one down the bottom, they all want to be, or we want them all to be as low as possible without causing the rig to be unstable. And actually the same with this, even though it's a megahertz, you can see this little tooltip here. Lowering frequency can give lower power usage and temp drops, but can also cause instability of your GPUs. So yeah, I had this one at 500, was crashing, increased to 600, it would crash after about 5 minutes runtime, had it at 700, and it was still crashing after a while. So I've got it all the way up to 800, which hasn't actually increased the power usage at the wall very much, but has increased the power usage in the software, along with this VDD Max here, SoC VDD Max. So yeah, this one, I believe, yeah, 980 on the other two 6700 XTs, and this one does change the power a bit. Yeah, so this one's going to be slightly less efficient than those other two. Yeah, obviously if you put the fans up higher, it's going to draw a little bit more power, but either way, this is very efficient at almost 0.5 efficiency. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have on this GPU. It's a great GPU. I always used to run them like so much higher. Like if you've not played with any of the settings, then like you're missing out on a whole heap of efficiency. Like it's actually crazy how efficient these GPUs are. Not a lot of people know, I don't think, how efficient they are. Yeah, I see a lot of people online that just don't have them properly undervolted, or maybe they do have them undervolted, but they don't have the SoC settings set properly. So yeah, they don't actually get the proper full efficiency. I have put in all the settings, I've researched them, found them, and done everything I can to get these as low as possible, repeatedly tested it, and yeah, these are the best numbers that I've come up with. One thing that is very important is testing it on a standalone rig. I found that when I was testing it on my 12 GPU rig, like I was just trying to get it as efficient as possible. I had just recently discovered like the SoC, VDD Max and stuff settings, and I was just like, oh yeah, I'm going to go through and change them all, and started causing crashes, but didn't know which figures were causing crashes, so I was getting really confused, and it was quite a struggle in that sense. So then I went back and I took one card off at a time. I've done it with most of these cards now. Like I've done it with this one, not the ASRock 6600s yet. I have done it with this one, and this one, and this one, not this one, yes this one, not this one, not this, not this, and yes this. So yeah, there's still a few cards in here, specifically the 6600 XTs and the ASRock 6600s, that I might be able to get a little bit more efficient, and I'll have to take them off and put them into a standalone rig like this in order to do that. And then yeah, I'll do the same, get them all the way down to as efficient as I possibly can. So as you can see, I've started up Ravencoin mining, so we're hitting around 24 mega hash currently, and we are at 89 watts. So this GPU is slightly less efficient, still on Ravencoin. So my other 6700s were getting 24.6 mega hash. This doesn't seem to be quite getting that, and they were doing it at 86 watts software, so plus 3 watts and minus a little bit of mega hash. And they were getting 110 watts at the wall when they were doing 86 mega hash, so 110 we can just guesstimate it'll be around 114 watts. So if we do that 24 mega hash divided by 114 watts, you have 0.21 efficiency, which isn't too bad. It's pretty good for Ravencoin. It's not the best of the 6000 series though. I believe the 6600 non-XT is pretty much the best card that I have for efficiency. Obviously the hash rate is quite low, so you have to be quite stingy on your rig setup, but if you can manage that, then yeah, you can do quite well. So you can see the settings just changed there actually. Sorry, not the settings, the results. So we got up to 24 mega hash and it dipped to 87 watts. So it's almost as good as my other GPUs, but I feel like it's gonna be up in the high end, and apparently that one's not quite stable. But yeah, it's pretty damn efficient on this algorithm and also on ETH. So I haven't done a lot of testing on other algorithms, but personally, being the most efficient cards you can get on Ravencoin and on Ethereum pretty much just sells me these cards immediately, like all the 6000 series cards. I'm actually starting off with the first video being the 6700 XT video, but the next videos I'm going to make are going to be 6600s and 6800s, which actually both perform better than this card. So yeah, have a look at those videos if you are keen to see even more higher efficiency cards. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got here. So thanks for watching, have a great day, and yeah, tune into the next video. See ya.